Alright guys, hope everyone's well and welcome back to the channel. So today we're in for a push session, my push 1 session that I've not filmed for a while, so hope you all enjoy. Starting off, we've got a seated lateral raise machine. Benefit of doing maybe the seated lateral machine is you've got the constraint of the pads on your arm, which means you don't have to worry about what's going on at the elbow joint, you don't have to worry about what's going on at the wrist joint, so you're a bit more locked in and it's easier to kind of stay accurate and not use momentum here. And here what you'll see is I don't actually hold the handles, I let my up arm be frightfully in front of my torso. What that allows me to do is just have a bit more freedom over my arm path, allows me to internally rotate the shoulder, have my arm in front of my body to bias my side delt effectively. Come on. And what you'll notice here as well is or you might not notice it, but what I do here when I'm driving out of the stretch is instead of just thinking up, I'll keep driving my hands down and out, and what that will do is allow to bias more your side delt, because there's a lot of muscle groups you can use here. So see, if you just think about launching it up, you'll most likely get a bit too much trap involvement. There'll always be some element of trap involvement, but we just want to kind of minimise it and make sure it's not the main mover here. So load up match reps here, and what you'll notice is when I'm performing it, my hips aren't all the way back on the seat. I've got a slight shift forward, which allows me to drive my upper back into the pad a bit more, creating a bit more stability. Also maybe biasing a bit more upper pec, which isn't a bad thing. What you want to be mindful of though, is just not getting carried away with it and letting your hips slip forward week on week to allow you to lift more load. We want to keep it standardized if we're performing it with our hips forward slightly. So here we've next got the gym Lyco flat press, and on this piece of kit what I am thinking about doing is making sure my elbows tucked to the bottom. I focus on twisting the handle slightly, because if not, when I get into the stretch I come into some excessive elevation, which isn't going to be the best for our biceps and our pec and keeping our shoulders happy. So it's like focusing on almost trying to break the handles to keep my shoulders down. And you'll notice also I've got a seat belt on. So the role of the seat belt is basically keep me on the seat, because as I press, the machine arcs down, and the machine arcs down, then pushes me up. And with 125 kilos there, if it presses me up, then I'm going to lose stability and try and shift out the seat, which we don't want here. And you'll notice when I am performing the seated dip that I'm sitting on the machine backwards, and the reason behind that is because if I sit this typical direction, it just feels awkward. Your hand travels quite forward quite excessively, whereas when I perform it sit another direction, it just feels generally more comfortable, better, and also it biases a bit more chest due to the path of the machine, which is a bit more favourable for me because my chest is the muscle group I need to develop a bit more than my tricep, so it suits my needs, and that's something you want to do if you're training, not just look at someone else's split, copy it, but think, right, what are your needs when it comes to physique development, what are your strengths and weaknesses, and tailor your exercise selection, your exercise order around that, and also your general split setup, so what days you do what session, like starting with your weaker body parts after a rest day can be a great idea, so you get the best quality work out of them. Come on, easy. So that's all compound sets done. What I might look to do is swap out the dip and the chest press, because as you can see there's not really much room to progress loading, and obviously I could work in a higher rep range, pause it longer, but I don't think that's fun. Like, part of what I enjoy with training, obviously I won't if I'm injured, but is beating last week, you know what I mean, upping the load. I don't want to like make the most out of a set by doing 15 reps, pausing it a ton. I just want to go in, lift heavier with good accuracy. So yeah, I'll maybe look to swap this for something like a bodyweight dip. I'll probably be dieting relatively soon anyway, so I'll probably just wait till after that because it's still progressing for one, and two, makes sense doing it after a dieting phase, because when you're coming out of a diet and you're like peak strength from having your body weight quite high, then it's going to take a while to kind of surpass that, and your presses might be a bit slower to progress, and that will just piss me off. So if I have new movements in when I'll go through that phase, then I'll just keep the enjoyment high, and it's just a good time to kind of swap things at the start of a new gaining phase. So next up we've got a dumbbell fly, and I definitely favour putting the dumbbell fly a bit later in the session. The reason being is when we think about a dumbbell fly, it's very, very heavy in that stretch where you can have a higher element of injury risk. So doing it at the end of the session will mean you'll be a bit safer. Everyone's very quick to jump on the bandwagon of, oh, the stretch is an important part for muscle growth, oh, the stretch is all that matters, and then as a result, like, that can lead to running into issues and injuries, because the stretch is often where injuries can occur. So loading the contraction, the shortened range first, can mean you're a bit safer for subsequent movements in the session. So don't feel like every movement needs to be heavily loaded in the stretch, but at the same time, if all your movements are heavy to lock out with your pressing, maybe you're selling yourself short in terms of your ability to develop your chest. So there's a balance to be had there. And yeah, 2 sets here, and I'm nice and slow into the stretch, because again, it's a bit of a vulnerable position to be in. And I'll superset this with the kneeling tricep extension. And the reason I do it kneeling is because I'm doing, I think, 67 kilos, so since the weight gets quite heavy, it pulls you up. So as a result, I kneel, so I'm a bit more stable and I won't get pulled onto my toes and my heels don't come up, leading to a bit more stability, allowing me to perform better. So more stability is not always better, but if you've got a problem and it can be easily fixed by putting yourself in a more stable environment, then do so. So you'll notice there I held the stretch after I couldn't get any more reps. That's kind of the time to absolutely rinse the amount of out of your set, like, and go past failure, you could say. The reason being is I've got no more pressing work now, so it's not going to impact anything. As well as that, it's at the end of the session. I've done 6 compound work, or sets of presses, sorry, and then I have went for, don't know if you can see me right now, so I've done 6 sets of compound work when it comes to presses, and then as well as that, I have obviously done the 2 sets of flies, so I'm warm, I'm safe, so it's the time to really kind of get the most out of that work. And the time I wouldn't do that is if you're training the next body part soon and you don't think you could be fresh, or in other words, recovered in time for next hitting that body part. That's a scenario when I wouldn't do that. So next I have a ab crunch and a plank, and I basically, well, they're supersetted, and then I alternate that with the single arm overhead extension. And the reason why I alternate between them is it just allows a bit more rest for each body part. So instead of going for 2 sets on each, then 2 sets on another, it allows me to space out the work. Spacing out the work allows me to ensure it's a bit higher quality. We've got longer rest periods, so that's why I do it in that fashion. And with the ab crunch, focusing on getting as much bend in my back as I can, then arching it as much as I can, and then going into that I've got the plank, and during the plank I'm thinking about letting out all my air, sucking my stomach up like I'm trying to get my belly button up to my chest, and then, chest, and then from there holding that position, taking small breaths in and out from my nose. You're not just sitting there relaxed with your core limp. That's not going to do anything for training your core. And I think if you've got competitive aspirations, doing planks are great because it teaches you good midsection control. So obviously on stage you don't want your belly hanging out, do you? You want to be able to keep your stomach nice and tight when you're holding your poses to improve your physique. So that's a few tips when it comes to the plank. Overhead extension, I have a lot of clients struggle going into this, so I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. I drive my left shoulder onto that part when I am using my right hand. So what that basically looks like is I will grab it and then from there hold it over my head with both hands, place my left shoulder against it, and then start the set. And what bracing against this pole basically does is it offers you that bit more stability, not that I'm super unstable, but also what I like about it is it just standardises my setup. It means it's the exact same every single week, so it's not harder one week, easier the next, and I'm not messing about with my foot position, stance in relation to the cable. So give it a try. Just don't get your t-shirt caught in the pulley. I've got several holes in many of my t-shirts due to that. So that's a wrap for push. Really good session. Pretty much progressed every single set I've done, I think, bar one on the overhead extension. So good day at the office. And a quick update before I kind of do this is the outro. For everyone who's wondering where I'm at, I'm currently sitting at 191 pounds this morning. I'm currently 52 weeks into a gaining phase. I am running a push-pull legs, rest, push, back and hamstring split. My calories on a training day are around about 3,900, protein around about 200 grams. And on I can't remember my carbs and fats. On a non-training day, my calories are sitting 2,550. That's about it. Just doing the do, getting better than last week and repeating that over a long period of time because that's what builds tissue. So yeah, things are going really well. Very busy at the moment with work as well. So things have been challenging in that regard, like trying to still get 9 hours sleep, still carry on ticking all my boxes, but also working with a decent bit of people, which I'm extremely grateful for. So things are going very well. I'm not complaining in the slightest and continuing to make sure every variable of mine is still nailed because it would be quite hypocritical for me to tell clients, oh, you need to sleep, you need to do this, you need to do that, if I don't practice what I preach myself. So yeah, really good session. Anything you'd like to see in the next video, please let me know, because at the end of the day, you're the one that will watch them and benefit from them, and it will of course help me, so it's a win-win situation. Any support is greatly appreciated, so if you enjoyed it, please share it to your story on Instagram, and leave a comment, like and subscribe.